Hi guys, welcome back to another Kerbal Space Program video, and today I am going to be launching a space station, my first space station in fact, to the moon. But first, I have to make a couple of design changes. So, let's begin this epic journey. Okay, so I'm going to the VAB, and of course I made this in my other world. So, space station. Let's load in. Which gravity ring was it? Oh yeah, it was this one. So I am going to turn on interstage nodes again. So interstage nodes are on. Now I'll put it right here. And don't worry that the solar panels are clipping in. It's fine, okay? Nothing's gonna happen. And I also need to strut all this because I strutted this and then I forgot to do stuff. And let me move my water bottle out of the way. So, yeah. I am going to strut these panels, all these solar array panels to here. And I'm also going to strut these two here. So I'll be using a couple of struts. And the reason why I don't have any engineers, I'm going to have an engineering on an engineering guy, an engineer on board, not an engineering guy. Engineer. I'm going to have an engineer on board who will remove the struts, but also there's this little feature in Kerbal Space Program, if you didn't know, that you can just remove struts. Like, you can just go right-click them, and not remove from symmetry, but like in flight, you can just disconnect the struts. So, I'll be doing that. Let me first bind them all to an action group. So this is gonna get boring really fast. So I'm just going to bind it to here. And then I just made these, what are we supposed to call these? I just made these changes. I didn't even test it yet. So I have added them all to an action group. I'm going to save it. And I made this transfer, not transfer stage, but it's more of a circularization stage. Yeah, I put too much delta V in this rocket. Like, uh-oh, this isn't the rocket. This is the other one. Haha. Let's use this one instead. Silly me. This is the rocket. I put too much delta V in the circularization stage. So, all this is strutted. I'm just going to turn on interstage nodes. So, I loaded the normal ship instead of the auto save ship. Is interstage nodes even on? Yeah, it should be on. So there's my next interstage node. I'm not going to bind into an action group this time. We can just get this over with. Let's just launch. So yeah, that's like a little peek at my rockets in the vehicle assembly building. If you guys haven't seen any of my videos, I mean, This is like the first time I've ever shown like when I'm in the vehicle assembly building. So like, yeah, let's launch this thing and get into orbit. So an awesome launch there. See that kind of shockwave going out, which is pretty cool. So once I hit about 300 meters per second, I'm going to, well, about 200 meters per second, I'm going to lower the throttle a little bit. Well, I think the throttle's already where I want it to be anyways, so, it's fine. So I'm just, once I get to about 45 degrees, I'm just going to let it fly. Once I get to 45 degrees, and then I'll do my circularization. So I added too much delta V to the circularization stage, so if I don't get to the moon, hey, ignore what I said in the beginning. Like and subscribe if I do get to the moon, which will be cool, and if I don't, hey, I have a space station in orbit. So, that's good. And also, I'm going way to... Okay, so I'm going to wait until these mammoth boosters run out, which I already did. So, bye-bye mammoth boosters. Anyways, I'm going to wait for about 10 kilometers. And yeah, once I hit 10 kilometers, I want to be at about 45 degrees, and then I'll just let it fly. Because I think that's how Matt Lown does it. And he does it pretty good, so yeah. Don't strike me, it's just an in-game mechanic, okay? I mean, I certainly like this launch profile, but I just let it fly as soon as I hit 45 degrees. So, anyways, the space station itself, it's just a simple space station. Has some solar arrays and some solar panels that I'll never use. And also has some artificial gravity rings. So let me go back to here, and remember I was talking about just letting it fly? Yeah, I'll go up to full throttle and just let it fly until my apoapsis is where I want my apoapsis to be. And that's normally how I circularize. Or not circularize, I get into an orbit. Like that, normally. So, is the rocket wobbling a little bit? Because I really don't know. So, we can just wait here, right? And let me auto-strut this. Like it's already auto-strutted to root part. And you can see how fast these Mastodon engines are draining it. That's what these are called, by the way. They're the equivalent to the Saturn V F1 engines, and they're they come with the Making History DLC, okay? So if you wanna, yeah, if you want these kind of parts, you need the Making History DLC, and that's how I was able to get this obscenely high delta V. Second stage. I mean, technically it's the third stage because the first stage was the solid, not the solid rocket boosters, the side boosters. I keep saying solid rocket boosters. They're not solid rocket boosters though. Anyways, you can see that my apoapsis, I might have to use this circularization stage to actually circularize, but like, when I tested it, I'm going to actually burn up a little bit. So yeah, I'm actually not gonna let it fly, I'm just gonna I'm gonna burn up a little bit. Not like burn up as in the sense like, I'm gonna burn up like in the atmosphere. I mean burn up as in the sense like, I'm gonna literally burn my rocket engines up so that I can, just up a little bit, so I can increase my apoapsis height before going back down to 45 degrees. And I'm spamming my keyboard right now. And finally, I'm back to 45 degrees. So, yeah, I'm just gonna let this fly. Once I hit about 1100 meters per second and my apoapsis gets, I want my apoapsis around 75, 80 kilometers, somewhere in that range. So, while I'm talking, you have the sound of the engines. And I forgot to do this again, so I have literally just Valentina in my thing again. The next time I do a space, well, hey, at least Valentina has all this space in this space in the space station, so yay for her. This also has two gigantic antennas on the bottom, and how many docking ports? Five. One senior, two juniors, and two normal Clampotrons. So yeah, there's no inline. I was thinking about putting a robotic arm on there. Then I'm just like, nah, bro. I'm not putting a robotic arm on there. So once I get about 75-ish degrees, 75-ish degrees, no, 75-ish kilometers. That's what I was gonna say. 75-ish kilometers. Then I will just let this. I'll just cut my throttle and then circularize. 374 and 75. Okay. So just because I'm going to first of all get out of the atmosphere. So time warp up. And since I'm actually having horizontal speed, hopefully I don't get to my apoapsis in like 5 seconds. So yeah. Now I need to add a maneuver node and quickly make this maneuver node. So I don't want it exact. I just want to. Okay, that seems pretty good. So let me face the maneuver node. 3, 2, 1, burn. And this is why I said I could probably go to the moon with this. Maybe not, because I only have 800 something meters per second. So bye bye fairing. Now I have about 1,000 meters per second in that stage. So as soon as my circularization is done, I'm just watching the periapsis height meter, and once it gets, okay, that seems at a pretty good orbit. So let me see if I can get to the moon from here. And let's just warp to, let's just set the moon as our, not as our target. So if I just burn, not radial, radial in, and then prograde a bit. No, that's a bit too much. Can I even get to the moon at all? Okay, so I want my encounter to be very horseshoe shaped so that I can circularize at the moon, and this is sort of horseshoe shaped. So if I burn radial in, okay. So now if I add a maneuver here to circularize, how much delta V does this maneuver take? Okay, I don't think we can do this, so let's just get rid of both maneuver nodes. So, hey, I might be able to do a Munar space station in another video. So, there you have it. First of all, I am just going to point retrograde, or, yeah, and then I'm going to jettison this stage. I don't know why I had that extra Mastodon engine in there. I don't know, which engine is it? Oh, it's the Rhino engine. Heh. So I just did that, but you know what? I think we could actually go to the moon now. Now I think I can go to the moon. So yeah, like and subscribe if you think we can go to the moon. So whoo, now let's make this maneuver node again. So remember, I want my encounter to be as horseshoe shaped as possible. This way I'm already kind of circularized, but not fully circularized. So let's just burn a bit. Well, I'm gonna go to the graphical maneuver editor. Let's just burn a bit more retrograde. I think that's pretty good. How about radial N? Anti-normal? Normal? Okay, so this is as best as I can get it right now. So, yeah, there's a lot of reaction wheels in those SAS wheel areas, and let me actually just edit some stuff. So this is Kerbal Engineer, by the way. It's a mod. It's a really good mod, actually. You should download it if you want. It tells you like all these readouts and stuff and your situation and everything. So I am going to get better time warp again. So yeah, let's just time warp to the next maneuver. So, okay. So once once I get to about the 10-second mark from the start burn indicator, if you want to know how you turn that on, so basically you go into your settings, then you take extended burn indicator, I'm pretty sure, and then that's how you do it. So 2, 1, begin. So let's just begin our lunar injection burn. So once I get the orbit, or should I say semi-orbit that I want, because it's not a full orbit yet, I'm also not actually going to get slingshotted out of the Kerbin system, which is good. I'm really scared right now, so, yeah. I'm really, really scared right now. Okay, so, I'm back. Sorry for the break. So, like, yeah, for all you guys here, now you can say I'm, like, a really bad YouTuber, even though I'm not, and this seems sort of good enough. Let me turn on caps control. So for those who don't know, this is just like vine control. So remember, I want my encounter to be horseshoe shaped, so it takes less to circularize. Less delta V to circularize. So there we go. That seems about good enough. So now let's add a maneuver node here to not get circularized completely, but just enough to get our periapsis down to a pretty low 45,000 meters. I'm actually thinking to go a bit higher. So my apoapsis, I want to go, yeah, I think that's pretty good for this. So, I think we can do that. Let's just warp there first. So now we're at the maneuver node. We can start our burn in about 54 seconds. So we've already entered the moon sphere of influence, so my first space station is not just a space station, but also a lunar space station. Which is pretty cool. I don't know why I didn't go to the bathroom before this. And I don't think you guys want to wait for 30 seconds. So, I'm just gonna speed it up because I'm pretty impatient. And let's just do this. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Okay, anyways. Yeah, let's start the burn now. So I don't want to crash into the moon, and this is why having horseshoe-shaped encounters is good. It takes less delta V to circularize. Not necessarily circularize, but to get the desired orbit you want. And that's pretty good. I'd say that's pretty nice. So, just because I'm going to time warp, I'm going to add a maneuver here so that I can, have a kind of circularish orbit. And you know what? I have a surprise for you guys. If you have actually stayed this long. So, I think that's about good enough. Yeah, it seems good enough. Only 100,000 meters separation. So let's just warp to the next maneuver, point to the maneuver. And I really don't know why I don't have better time warp. So, also there's no RCS on here, even though I have mono propellant. I forgot to add RCS. So, my bad. So, yeah, I'm still really sorry about having to go to the bathroom in the middle of a video. It's just me. Okay, I always forget to do things. I just link stuff, and then this happens, and then my videos get like no views, and then yeah, I'm not very good of a YouTuber, am I? Okay, that seems about good. So let's deploy the actual space station equipment. So I'm actually going. So yeah. Let's just time warp a bit. Go X 100. So now that seems a safe enough distance that we can now start deploying stuff. So here's what I mean. Disconnect. And I think that's it. So now I am going to set my target angle. Well, first of all, let me lower the traverse rate to be like barely anything. So target angle should be 0. Now you can see it slowly unfolding. I'll increase the traverse rate just a little bit and slow it down. I'll make the traverse rate 5. I think that's a pretty good traverse rate. I can now make it nothing. So now it is locked. And damping 0. And let's do that for this. So disconnect and traverse rate. I'll put it 5. So yeah, this is going to take a while. So let me just unfold this real quick. And let's retract these because these are sort of clipping into the solar arrays. I forgot to put them in the other direction. And you can see that most of the solar arrays are extended. Some of them aren't. So extend. Okay, so now that it's at 0, let's lock it and disengage the motor. For some reason it's saying it's stowed. Is it because of the fairing? Do I have to deploy this fairing? Oh well, looks like I have to deploy the fairing or something. How about these? Are these stowed? They're stowed? Oh, let's deploy this then. Now will it work? Okay, we just needed to deploy the fairing. Which doesn't really look good because now we have all this internal machinery out. But hey, let's just assume that they can EVA out. Okay, I mean, like, I blocked all the hatches. Because I'm dumb. And yes, I blocked all the hatches in the gravity rings. So yeah. Kind of like this sort of staircase look that I made by accident. Looks pretty cool. You see, I told you I added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 docking ports. So yeah, 1 senior, 2 juniors, 1 normal. Let me also extend out all the antennas. And I think the part you've all been waiting for is the gravity rings. So if these actually work, let's first turn on the brakes. Let's put the torque limit to about 5. And then I'll make the RPM limit to about 5 RPM. So do the same thing for this, just that I'll do counterclockwise instead. Torque limit 5. RPM limit 5. And now I will disconnect all of these struts holding this in place. Disconnect. And I will turn off the brakes. So, yeah, you can see the gravity rings are spinning. Well, they're not complete rings. I kind of made them left open a bit so that, you know, it looks cool when they're like kind of left open. And the reason they're spinning in opposite direction is so that they'll cancel out the torque. And now I am also going to do an EVA. So is there even RCS in there? Okay, there's RCS in there, so let's let go of this. And yeah, Valentina's just checking out the side of the space station. And this seems pretty cool. Just to walk around the space station and so yeah, let me get back inside here. Because I don't want Valentina to go flying away. And uh-oh, don't want to crash into those solar panels. Let's get inside. Let's just get inside of this. Transfer Valentina into the cockpit, or should I say the cupola module. There are 2 antennas extended. Let's also extend out the boom. I don't know why I packed the magnetometer boom in here. So, yeah, I'm just doing this. Did a little EVA. So, yeah, that is the space station just gonna sit there for the rest of its lifetime. If it even has a lifetime, because it's a Kerbal Space Program. In real life, the space station's orbit would decay and it would crash into the moon. So will this, well, not to the moon, into the moon, if this was real life. But here is a Kerbal Space Program. Orbit decay doesn't happen, except if you're in an, except if your orbit is in an atmosphere. Then yeah, your orbit's gonna deplete, decay. Is what I meant to say. So, yeah, Valentina's having fun. She has this entire space station to play with. And, yeah, that's it for this video. See you guys later. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed. This is the space station. I call it Space Station Mun, the first step to colonizing the Mun. Yeah, imagine if we saw the surface base. Heh, that'd be funny. So, yeah, bye guys. See you later. Hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe. I don't know why I said that again.